Hi, I'm Cassie and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make some delicious strawberry shortcake bark, and this is a pretty pink color, so it is perfect for Valentine's Day, or if you're having like a strawberry shortcake theme party or a Barbie birthday party, or even for Easter. It makes a great dessert, and it's also great for party favors or goodie bags. So here's what you're going to need for this recipe. 24 ounces of strawberry melting chocolate, 2.5 ounces of freeze-dried strawberries, 6 ounces of white melting chocolate, and about 2.5 ounces of shortbread cookies. So I have my shortbread cookies in a Ziploc here, and I'm just going to push all the air out of the bag, and then I need to go ahead and crumble these up. I'm going to use a meat mallet to crush these up. You could use a rolling pin or whatever you have that you can just crush these up. If you want it like a more crunchy texture, you can leave them in bigger pieces. If you want it to not be as crunchy, you can make it in like a finer sand. I have a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. This is what we're going to spread the chocolate bark out onto. So I have that ready to go so that once my chocolate is melted, I can just pour it on here. So I'm going to take my strawberry melting chocolates, and I'm going to start by putting these in the microwave. You can start with 30 seconds or 1 minute to begin. And then as it starts to melt, you want to reduce the amount of time to 30 seconds, 30-second intervals, and we're just going to keep stirring it until it's all nice and melty. So I put this in for 1 minute, and now I'm just going to stir it around a little bit, and you can see some of it is starting to melt. And so now I'm going to put this in for 30 seconds and just keep doing 30-second intervals until it's all melted. One thing you want to be careful of is that you don't overheat this. These melts are a lot easier to work with, but you don't want it to get so hot because it will not set up properly. Now that it's all melted, we're going to put it into our parchment lined baking sheet. Look at what a pretty color this is. It's so beautiful. So now I'm just going to spread it out. You don't want this to be super thick. You want it to be able to be broken apart pretty easily, but you don't want it so thin that it just falls apart. And then just smooth it out so it looks nice and pretty. Now we're going to put on the strawberries and the shortbread cookies. So just start sprinkling that stuff on. And you can kind of press it down in there so that it stays. Just be sure as much of it is touching the actual chocolate as possible, because if it's not, it'll fall off. Just let it get hardened up for about 20 minutes. Okay, so now we need to melt the white chocolate wafers. We're going to do that just the same way we did with the pink one. So now that the white chocolate is all nice and melted, I'm going to put it into a piping bag. You don't have to put it in a piping bag. If you want to just drizzle it on with a spoon or just pour it on, you can do that. So now that I have the white chocolate in the piping bag, I'm just going to cut off a tiny little snip right off of the end here. And then I'm just going to drizzle it across. Now this is going to help hold in those strawberries and the cookies so that it stays on a little bit better. And this doesn't have to be perfect. These are going to be broken up into pieces. So you can do this in whatever design you want, no rhyme or reason. Let this white chocolate set up, and then we'll be ready to break it apart and have a taste. That only took about 10 minutes. Now we just simply break it up with our hands into whatever size pieces that you like. So let's try a bite. So good. the crunch of the cookies on there, and then the little tartness of the strawberries mixed with the chocolate. It's so delicious. If you want a written version of this recipe, there's a link in the description so you can go straight to my blog. And when you go on there, the recipe card, you can actually change the serving. So if you're having a big party and you want to make like double batch or something like that, you can change the amount of servings and it will change all the ingredients to the right amounts for you, so you don't have to do that in your head. I also have a strawberry fudge recipe coming in the next video. So if you love strawberry and you want to check that one out, be sure you don't miss it. Hit that subscribe button and I will see you in the next video.